Gentleman from Arlington, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I got to tell you, accusing the governor of politics when we're talking about public safety is a little out there. 560 is overly broad, and it has unintended consequences. A person who pulls out a firearm in the parking lot or the park or on the sidewalk shouldn't be able to say, it wasn't my intention to frighten that mom and her kids or that elderly couple or that family. I didn't intend to frighten that person should not be a defense. From the John Lott study, and the pro-gun lobby knows all about John Lott on defensive gun use, 93% of folks can defend themselves by simply showing a gun and instilling fear in the alleged attacker. According to the gun industry's own data, the brandishing of a gun intrinsically instills fear. But now, this bill is saying that holding, pointing, or even brandishing a gun shouldn't create fear in an individual. Here's the thing. If showing a gun can induce sufficient fear to stop a criminal in his tracks, why should we not assume that showing a gun to an innocent person would not induce equal or greater fear? Either it's going to instill fear or it's not. You can't do both. Pointing a gun at someone clearly does induce fear, and it should not be a question of intent in order to get a conviction. This bill would create unintended consequences for prosecutors and law enforcement officers attempting to secure convictions for violators of this law. This proposed modification would unnecessarily burden our public safety officials and potentially create a defense for individuals who recklessly handle firearms. In fact, this provision is used a great deal by prosecutors against gang members. And this bill would make the prosecutor's job harder. Pointing, holding, or brandishing a firearm in the manner that induces fear in the mind of another person is irresponsible and dangerous behavior and should be appropriately addressed within our justice system. Current law provides clear guidelines for our law enforcement personnel without creating unintended consequences that could lead to unsuccessful prosecutions. The governor vetoed this bill because it has serious unintended consequences. It's overly broad, and it's unnecessary because the current code covers it. I hope it's the will of the body to sustain the governor's veto.
Shall the House override the governor's veto? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 66, noes 34.
Ayes 66, noes 34. The motion is not agreed to.